Hey, what's up guys? Jay here. Today I'm walking you through my top 10 favorite landmine exercises. These 10 are in no particular order, just 10 of my favorite movements to build full body strength, power, explosiveness, and rotational core strength. In this video, I'm gonna break down each movement, show you guys proper technique, and how to get the most out of each exercise. I'm also gonna be showing you different ways to set the landmine up, whether you're working out in a corporate gym or you're working out at home. For this week's program giveaway, I'm giving away my 12-week program, Functional Mass and Power. This is the blueprint to building raw functional strength, building muscle mass and size, as well as building explosive power and athleticism. If you guys want to enter to win the program for free, all you have to do is leave a comment on this video within the first 24 hours that it is released. We will then go through the comments, we will select a winner, and we will let you know if you have won. So without further ado, let's get into the video. All right guys, let's talk about how to set this up. You guys are obviously gonna need a barbell. Cheap, easy, accessible way to do this is to take a tennis ball, cut the tennis ball, where you can then slide one end of the barbell into the tennis ball. Once you have the tennis ball on, you can very simply just place the end of the barbell with the tennis ball up against the wall. This is gonna protect the wall and it's also going to protect the barbell. What would be even better, so this is still pretty secure because all the weight's gonna be on this end. It'll pretty much stay in place, but what's even better and even more secure is if you can take this end and wedge it between two heavier weights. So it could be 2 kettlebells or 2 dumbbells. If you do not have access to a tennis ball, you can very simply take a towel of some sort, put the end of the barbell up against the towel, and place it up against the wall. Now, if you guys don't mind spending a little extra cash, you can get something a little bit more legit with a landmine attachment. So you can get this off of Amazon. There's probably 100 different companies that sell them out there. They're not crazy expensive, definitely under 100 bucks. I wouldn't suggest spending too much money on them unless you're using it a ton. You know, something in the middle, something that's not dirt cheap, but something right in the middle I think is a good spot to aim for. So very simply, you can take one end, put it with the plates, so it's locked in place. We take the barbell, you can then slide it in, and then you can tighten it up with that screw. So another way to do it, again, if you don't mind spending a little extra cash, want something a little bit more legit, then go with the landmine attachment. Exercise 1, we have the clean to rotational press, full body movement that develops strength and rotational power. Love this movement, probably my favorite landmine exercise. So we get set up. This foot's gonna be very close to the plate. We're gonna hinge at the hips. Feet are gonna be about shoulder width, hinging at the hips, engaging the hamstrings and glutes, pulling the lats down and back. We're gonna explosively stand tall and shrug. So that's the first portion of this movement. Stand tall and shrug. We're then gonna step out slightly. Grab the barbell with the other hand. We're then gonna rotate through the hips to explosively press this weight overhead. We then reverse the movement, step the foot back, grab the barbell with that first starting hand, and then lower back down to that starting position. So be as explosive as you possibly can with each portion of the exercise. If you're just starting out with this movement, start slow. Slower movements to really get comfortable with that switch. If you're feeling sketchy about the switch, a way you can modify and still get a lot out of this movement is to grab one hand pronated, so the hand closest to the plate is going to be pronated, other hand supinated. So we're here, so you don't have to have that switch. It's a little more secure, so we can really focus on being as explosive as possible. Exercise 2, we have standing core rotations. Another great full body movement to develop strength and rotational power, which has a heavy emphasis on the core. So we start off in this somewhat of a goblet position. Hands are wedged, hand over hand to secure the barbell. Feet are gonna be a little more than shoulder width. We're gonna start off by pivoting on the opposite foot of the side we wanna start on. So we pivot on that foot, so heel is up, we rotate. Elbow nice and tight to the body, keep the core engaged, engage those obliques. We're gonna explosively pull this weight up and over and then switch the feet. So notice I'm pivoting on the other side, pulling that elbow nice and tight to the body. So what's great about this movement is that we can be explosive on the concentric, coming up, and then really decelerate. So it takes a lot of strength through the core to decelerate this weight back to that starting position. We pause for a second and then pull it back up and over. So real time. You guys can also slow it down. So if you're just starting out, slow it down. You can still get a lot out of this movement and still build some really good rotational core strength. Exercise number 3, we have the kneeling single arm explosive shoulder press. You guys can certainly do this standing as well, but I'm doing it kneeling because my ceilings are very low here in the garage gym. It also puts a little more focus on the core as we remove all the assistance from the lower body as we start to fatigue. So this is great for building core strength and building shoulder strength and explosive shoulder pressing power. So we're gonna start off this kneeling position, good posture, shoulders are pulled down and back, core is braced. We're in the front rack position, elbow nice and tight to the body. We're gonna brace the core, explosively press this weight. So fully extend, try to get that weight as high as you can while simultaneously bring the other hand up to catch and switch and decelerate that weight back down to the front rack position. So really keep that core braced and the elbow nice and tight to the body. So real time. Exercise 4, we have the split jerk switch. Great full body explosive exercise to help us build some explosive strength. So we're gonna start off in that shoulder press position. So front rack position, elbow nice and tight to the body. We're gonna step back with the opposite leg. So every hand we're holding onto the barbell with, we'll step back with the opposite leg. Slight bend of the knee so we can really generate some good hip extension and generate some power through the lower body. Simultaneously, so we're in this slight bend here. Simultaneously, we're going to explode. So explode with the legs, press overhead while switching the feet. So we're doing this as fast as we possibly can. As soon as we land, we want to land with that front foot making contact with that full extension overhead. We then step in with the front foot, step in with the back foot, lower down, and reset. Exercise 5, we have the single arm chest fly push-up. So great exercise for working some single arm pushing strength, chest, tries, shoulders, and some core as well. So we get set up. One hand is gonna be in that push-up position, other hand is on the barbell. Shoulder directly over the wrist, feet are gonna be about shoulder width, starting with that barbell pretty close and tight to the body. As we lower down to the push-up, we're gonna extend this arm out. So we lower down simultaneously, we extend out, lower the chest all the way to the floor. When we press back up, we're pressing through this one side, the left side, we're also pulling in with that right side. So we're getting some good chest engagement as well. So somewhat of a fly as we come back in to that starting position. So lower slowly with control, really stretch that pec on that fly, and then push, pull to come back in. Exercise 6, we have the back lunge thruster. So building some quads and glutes as well as some explosive pressing power. So we're gonna grab this barbell, front rack position, elbow nice and tight to the body. You're gonna take a big step back with the same side leg that you're hanging onto the barbell with. So big step back, keeping the chest up. You're gonna lower slowly to the bottom of the lunge. Letting the back knee lightly touch the floor, driving that front knee outward. We're then gonna explosively press overhead while bringing that foot back up to the starting position. We lower back down slowly with control, step back. So slow deceleration in the lunge, lightly touch, fast and explosive into that overhead press. Exercise number 7, the kneeling split stance single arm shoulder press. So we're working the shoulders, working our pressing strength, as well as working core strength and even more specifically anti-rotational core strength. Just being in this split stance position and holding weight off to one side of the body, this weight's gonna wanna pull us off to that side. So it's more demanding on the core to keep us upright and to keep good posture. So we get up into that front rack position, elbow nice and tight to the body. We're bracing the core, we take a breath in. Press all the way up overhead, keeping the core braced at the top. We're exhaling at the top and as we lower down. Pause for a second in the bottom. and press overhead. Exercise number 8, we have the split stance single arm row. Great exercise for, of course, building the back, but we're also working some core strength, anti-rotational core strength, and some lower body balance and stability as well. So we're just getting a lot out of this exercise. Now, getting to the setup, I want this front leg pretty close to the barbell. What's very important throughout the exercise is that we're driving this knee outward. So we're externally rotating the hip and turning the glute on this side. We never want this knee caving in at any point in time. Back leg, long step back. You guys can play around if you want your heel touching the ground or if you want to be up on your toes, whatever's most comfortable for you. We're going to hinge at the hips. So pushing the butt back, hinging at the hips to grab our barbell. Lats are pulled down and back. Chest is nice and tall. From here, rowing towards the belt line, squeezing the lat, and then lowering slowly back down to the fully stretched position in the bottom. Exercise number 9, we have kneeling core rotations. So going from that kneeling position is going to put more focus on working core strength and anti-rotational core strength. So we're going to start off same as our standing core rotations. We're pulling the elbow nice and tight to the body. So think about pulling your elbow behind your body to engage and contract that oblique. So core is engaged from here. We're aggressively and explosively pulling up and over, decelerating that weight. On the other side, pull that elbow behind the body. We're going to pause for a second and then explosively pull back up to the other side. Exhale as you lower. Exercise number 10, we have the side lunge to explosive knee drive. So we're working some single leg strength and power, as well as some core strength with this exercise. So we're going to start off holding the barbell. Let's say the left hand, we're then going to step out with the right leg. So we take a big step out to the side. Big step out, other leg's going to stay totally straight. Toes are pointed straight ahead on the opposite leg and on the leg that we're working. We're going to lower down as far as we can, driving the knee outward. Never let this knee cave in. So lower down, keeping the chest nice and tall. Pause for a second, explosively drive up out of the bottom, pulling that knee above the crease of the hip, really flexing and contracting your core at the top. From here, we're balancing, we're gonna lower, decelerate, explosively come up out of the bottom. If you're less advanced, foot down in between reps to really dial in that technique.